talk about grout. Oh my goodness, people do not like to grout or they love to grout. It's one or the other, never in between. I actually enjoy it. I find it very meditative. You really get in touch with your mosaic. You learn every square inch of it. So we're going to talk about some of the ways that I start when I am grouting. I like to buy these rolls of clear plastic bags. I take a bag off, and then the bottom of it that has that seal, I cut it off, and then I cut down the side, and one bag gives me plenty of drop cloths to work with. So it's pretty cool. So I have here both sanded and unsanded grout. They're a little bit different in texture. Sanded grout is a little bit coarser. Sanded grout is for anything over 1/8 of an inch thick for your grout lines. So this is my little sample mosaic that we're going to grout, and I'm going to use sanded grout. And what I did was I put about a couple of teaspoons in here. It doesn't take much. So I put it in there, and now I'm going to put my mask on when I mix. And I'm going to add my water, and I use my Italian spatula, and I start to mix it until it's a peanut butter consistency. So I keep mixing. Some people like to add the powdered colorant first. Sometimes I add it after. So this is the consistency. When you turn it over, it doesn't fall off. So now I'm going to add my colorant. I'm going to go with the medium gray. Go with 3. Actually, I'm going to go 4. I'm going to go a little darker. Now that it's already mixed up and there's no more powder, I'm going to take my mask off. Keep mixing until I get the right color. Deciding color. It's such a fine art, deciding color. I like to go with the medium gray most often. That's my favorite color grout. Some people like to go with black. I don't ever recommend white unless it's a specific mosaic that calls for it. But most often I don't use white. So after you mix it, you want it to sit for about 10 minutes to slake. And during that time, it gives you a chance to make sure you have everything set up. You want to have your nitrile gloves. You want to have paper towels. I use Viva paper towels. They're the best for grouting because they stay together, they don't pill or roll, and they clean up really, really nicely. I do the dry grouting method. Some people use sponges in water. I do not use sponges and water when I grout. I just find it so much easier for me to do it this way. So let's pretend that 10 minutes is up, and I'm going to remix, and then what I'm going to do is put my gloves on. Now, I use a silicone spatula. I find that to be the best way to grout. So what I'm going to do is take a little bit, and I'm going to spread it on, and I'm going to use the silicone part to push it down into the spaces. And then the edges, you just want to work your way around. what I'm doing is I'm making sure that I get it in, pushed down in all the sections and also along the edges. Okay, so at this point, I've got it everywhere that I want it. Just cleaning it up just a little bit. And now, I'll just clean off a little bit with the silicone. And now I let it sit. And what you're going to do is you're going to let it sit for approximately 10 to 15 minutes until you start to see a white haze. Now that we've waited and you can see the white haze, it's time to do our final buff. So what I'm going to do is just start to rub over it lightly with my paper towel. And I'm paying attention to make sure that I get areas like this that have a little bit of grout that's still on the tile. So I'm actually going to take either my Italian spatula, my favorite is my composite tool, and I just scrape a little bit and I look around and see where I need to scrape off to uncover everything. And that's really it. And then I wipe the edges a little bit. And that's it. Now, what I'm going to do is now I'll take a vinegar and water mix and I'll spray it, or I'll put it on my paper towel and wipe it clean, and it'll completely get rid of that grout haze. You want to wait a couple of days after you're finished grouting to do your grout sealer. So what I do is after about 2 days, I'll take this, spray it on, wipe it off, and you're done.